Have you ever looked at your life and felt like you are doing everything you are supposed to do, yet somehow it still feels like you are always one step short? Have you ever wondered if the problem is not that you are not trying hard enough, but that something invisible keeps leaking away, no matter how much effort you pour in? Welcome back to the channel. If you clicked on this, I am guessing you are waiting for a turning point. Or at least you are searching for a steadier kind of strength, the kind that does not collapse the moment life gets complicated. Today I want to take a topic that sounds mystical to some people and make it so practical that you can test it in your daily life. Here are the two core ideas we are building everything on. First, blessings are not random luck. Blessings are like life credit. They are accumulated through the quality of your intentions, your words, and your actions over time. And they can also be spent down through habits that seem small but are actually expensive. Second, many people do not have a terrible destiny. They have a leaking destiny. They leak their life credit through tiny daily choices. And then they feel confused when effort alone does not create smooth results. And I know the moment I say blessings is life credit, some people either get excited or skeptical. So let us keep it grounded. Think of blessings as the support system of your life, the hidden cushion that makes problems easier to solve, the invisible tailwind that makes opportunities appear, the quiet protection that keeps a small mistake from turning into a disaster, the kind of social and emotional karma that makes people want to help you instead of avoid you. It is not magic, it is cause and effect. Now let me tell you a story, because stories carry teachings in a way the mind can actually digest. There was a woman I will call Ran. She lived in a small city. She had a stable job. She was not a criminal. She was not a cruel person. She was, in most ways, a normal, decent human being. But she had a persistent confusion that kept bothering her. No matter how hard she worked, things kept feeling slightly off. At work she tried, yet she often got misunderstood. When she tried to save money, some unexpected expense would show up like a surprise bill from the universe. When she tried to maintain relationships, arguments uncold distance would appear like weeds that kept coming back. She started thinking the thought many people secretly think, but do not say out loud. Maybe I just do not have blessings. Maybe I was born with less luck. Maybe I am doomed to struggle. One day she visited an older woman in her neighborhood, someone who had lived long enough to see patterns repeat through generations. The older woman was not the type to speak in abstract spiritual language. She spoke in simple, sharp truths, the kind that hit the nervous system. And Ran complained about her life. She said she worked hard. She did not do anything terrible. So why does life keep blocking me? The older woman listened, and then said something that Ran did not like at all. She said that blessings are not there so you can say whatever you want with your mouth. The small advantage you take through words will be deducted from your destiny later. And Ran got defensive instantly. She said she did not harm anyone. She just joked. She just complained. She just vented. She just spoke her mind. The older woman smiled, not mocking, just calm. She told Ran that careless speech is not harmless. It may not create immediate punishment, but it makes your road narrower, your relationships thinner, and your inner field dirtier. And when your inner field is dirty, the outer world starts matching that frequency. You attract confusion, conflict, and delay. Not because the universe hates you, but because cause and effect is precise. That was the first time Ran really paused. Not for a second, but for a real pause. She asked what blessings actually are. The older woman explained it in the simplest image. Blessings are like an account. You deposit into it every day, and you spend from it every day. The deposits are also simple: goodwill, honesty, keeping promises, gratitude, kindness, patience, self-restraint. The spending is also simple: greed, anger, confusion, harsh speech, taking cheap advantages, breaking trust, constant complaint, constant comparison, overdrawing your energy and then pretending there will be no consequences. And this is where the story becomes uncomfortable, because Anran began to review her days, not her big public identity, but her private habits. She realized she was not leaking blessings through a dramatic evil act. She was leaking blessings through details. And this is the part I want you to listen to slowly, because the details are where destiny is edited. And Rand discovered that one of her most expensive leaks was her mouth. She was quick with sarcasm, quick with gossip, quick with criticism, quick with jokes that were funny on the surface but carried a sharp edge underneath. She often spoke about people who were not present. She called it harmless commentary. She told herself she was just being real. But here is the karmic truth. Every time you speak with contempt, you train your mind to live in contempt. You also train your social world to treat you as someone who cannot be trusted. Even if people laugh with you, somewhere inside they think, if she talks like this about others, she will talk like this about me. Trust thins, relationships thin, opportunities thin, and then you wonder why your road feels narrow. There is a principle in Buddhist ethics called right speech. It sounds moralistic until you see how practical it is. Right speech is not about being fake nice. It is about refusing to poison your own mind. Because speech is a factory. It produces future consequences. It plants seeds in other people's hearts and in your own nervous system. So Anran began a simple experiment. She did not try to become perfect. She simply tried to reduce leakage. She decided that before speaking, she would run a quick inner check. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it the right time? At first she failed. She would remember too late. After the words were already out, she would feel a small regret. But she kept practicing. And something interesting happened. She started noticing that many of her sharp comments were not about truth at all. They were about the need to feel superior for a moment, the need to discharge stress onto someone else, the need to bond with others through negativity. This is an expensive habit, because bonding through negativity creates a low field. It feels like connection, but it is connection built on poison. Over time, it makes you tired. It makes you suspicious. It makes you cynical. Cynicism is not wisdom. Cynicism is a defense mechanism that leaks blessings non-stop. Now here is the second leak she found. And this one is so common that people normalize it, taking small advantages. She would grab little benefits whenever possible. She would find ways to get extra without paying. She would stretch rules. She would accept favors without gratitude. She would use others' time without respect. Nothing huge. Just small things that made her feel like she was winning. But the older woman explained something Anran had never considered. When you take what you did not earn, you are not only creating external debt, you are creating internal debt. A subtle shame appears. You may not admit it, but your mind knows. And when your mind carries subtle shame, your confidence becomes shaky. Your words become defensive. Your relationships become tense. You may also attract similar energy back, where others take advantage of you, because you have tuned yourself to that frequency. This is why generosity is not only about being nice. It is about building a stable inner field. When you are generous, you create dignity. When you create dignity, your destiny becomes less chaotic. So when Rand practiced a very difficult thing for someone used to small advantages, she practiced clean hands. She refused benefits that made her heart feel slightly dirty. She stopped taking what created that inner aftertaste of guilt. She started paying fairly. She started returning extra change. She started giving credit when it was not required. She started being the kind of person whose conscience could rest. And that rest is not a small thing. A rested conscience is a powerful container for blessings. A restless conscience leaks everything you gain. Now the third leak, broken promises. Ayn Rand did not think of herself as untrustworthy. She was not a liar in a dramatic way, but she was casual with commitments. She would say yes to things to look good or to avoid conflict. Then she would delay, forget, cancel, show up late, or do it halfway. At first you may think, that is normal. Everyone does that. But notice the karmic chain. When you break your own promises repeatedly, you train your mind to not believe yourself. Your self-respect drops. Your focus drops. Your willpower weakens. And people around you start treating you as unreliable. Opportunities go to someone else. Support goes to someone else. And then you feel unlucky. Trust is like a bridge. When you damage it, you do not always fall immediately. But one day you need to cross a river quickly, and you realize your bridge is weak. So Ayn Rand began practicing something simple and concrete. She wrote down promises she made, even small ones. She treated them like seeds. She understood that a promise is not just words. It is intention made public. If you do not honor it, you are leaking integrity. As she honored small promises, she noticed a new feeling growing in her: steadiness. And steadiness is the container that can hold blessings without spilling them. Now the fourth leak, emotional explosion. And Rand was the kind of person who could be sweet, but also could be set on fire by a small spark. I comment, a tone, I delay, an inconvenience. She would interpret it personally, and then the anger would rise fast. She told herself she was just direct. She told herself she was honest. But the older woman pointed out the real name. It was not honesty. It was strong aversion. Anger that had become a habit. Anger spends blessings fast. Here is why. When you explode, you burn your own body first. Stress chemicals spike. Sleep becomes lighter. Digestion suffers. Focus suffers. Then you burn relationships. People become cautious around you. Some people leave. Some people stay but become distant. Then you burn opportunities, because angry people make impulsive decisions. They send messages they regret. They destroy collaborations. They create enemies where none were necessary. In Buddhist practice, there is a training called patience. But patience is often misunderstood. Patience is not swallowing everything and becoming weak. Patience is the power to not add fuel at the hottest moment. It is the ability to delay reaction long enough for wisdom to appear. So Ayn Rand practiced a new rule. When anger rose, she would not speak immediately. She would breathe. She would step away. She would cool down. She would return when her mind was stable enough to communicate without stabbing. She discovered something that changed her life. Many conflicts do not need to be solved with force. Many conflicts disappear if you stop feeding them with heat. Not feeding the fire is practice. Not harming with words is compassion. Not obeying the first impulse is wisdom. That is how karma is purified in real time. Now the fifth leak, comparison and complaint. This is the silent killer. It is slow poison. It does not hurt you loudly. It drains you quietly. And Rand would scroll through other people's lives and feel worse. She would see travel photos and feel unlucky. She would see promotions and feel trapped. She would see relationships and feel unworthy. Then she would complain about work, about family, about society, about herself. Complaint feels like release, but it is often reinforcement. It reinforces a mind that only sees lack. When the mind only sees lack, it generates craving. Craving generates anxiety. Anxiety generates more complaint, and the cycle becomes a lifestyle. There is a simple karmic truth. A grateful mind is a fertile ground for blessings. A complaining mind is a leaky ground, because complaint blinds you to what is already working. It also blinds you to what you can do next. It makes you passive in a loud way. It says, "The world is wrong, so I do not have to change." So when Rand practiced gratitude, but not fake positivity, real gratitude, specific gratitude, she thanked life that she could still get out of bed. She thanked the warmth of a meal. She thanked a friend who listened. She thanked the possibility of improvement. She thanked the space life still gave her to learn. And when her heart softened, something else grew naturally. Compassion, not as a performance, but as a real warmth. When compassion grows, relationships thicken. When relationships thicken, blessings flow back. Not because people owe you, but because your inner field becomes a place where good things can land. Now I want to pause the story and speak directly to you, because I want you to check your own life, not as judgment, but as awakening. Ask yourself quietly, what is my biggest leak right now? Where do I spend life credit without realizing it? Where do I create subtle debt that later appears as delays, misunderstandings, conflict, or exhaustion? Just being willing to ask is already a turning point. Awakening often begins as the willingness to look. Now let us expand this deeper, because the story of Enran is not just about one person. It is about the structure of cause and effect. In Buddhism, the mind is central. Intention matters, not only what you do, but the energy behind what you do. When you act from greed, you plant seeds of restlessness. When you act from anger, you plant seeds of conflict. When you act from confusion, you plant seeds of regret. When you act from kindness, you plant seeds of support. When you act from honesty, you plant seeds of trust. When you act from patience, you plant seeds of stability. Blessings are not a mysterious gift. Blessings are the natural result of wholesome patterns. But here is the painful part. You can also have a decent amount of blessings and still feel stuck if you spend them faster than you deposit them. Think of two people. One person works hard but leaks through harsh speech, emotional fires, and constant complaint. Another person works hard and also practices restraint, gratitude, generosity, and calm speech. Over time, their results diverge. Not because one is magically favored, because one is building a stable container. A container is a powerful concept. Many people want more blessings, more opportunities, more support, but they do not realize that blessings need a container. If your container is cracked, whatever comes in leaks out. Harsh speech cracks the container. Small dishonest advantages crack the container. Broken promises crack the container. Explosive anger cracks the container. Complaint and comparison crack the container. Then blessings come in and slide right out, and you call it bad luck. So the goal is not to chase luck. The goal is to repair the container. Now let me deepen it with another story, because some of you might be thinking, this is moral talk. I want proof in real life. There was a man I will call Leo. He was talented. People recognized his ability. He could speak well, create quickly, and he had the kind of ambition that looks like a gift. He also had one habit that destroyed him over and over: his mouth. He was witty, but his wit had a blade. He could turn a joke into a public humiliation without sounding like he was doing it. People laughed. He felt powerful. He told himself it was harmless. But slowly, the room around him changed. People became careful. They stopped sharing vulnerable ideas. They stopped trusting him with private information. They stopped recommending him for opportunities. His network shrank quietly, not in an obvious dramatic way, but in a subtle karmic way. One day, Leo lost an opportunity he believed was his. He became bitter. He blamed politics. He blamed jealousy. He blamed the system. He did not see the simplest truth. People did not feel safe around him. Safety is a blessing magnet. When people feel safe, they open doors. When people feel threatened, they close doors. When Leo finally asked someone honest why his path was narrowing, the person said something simple: "Your talent is real, but your speech creates poison. People do not want poison in their life." That sentence shocked him, and it should shock all of us in a quiet way, because many of the blessings we want come through relationships, mentors, friends, partners, teams, communities. If your habits damage relationships, you are spending blessings directly. Leo began to practice restraint, not silence, but clean speech. He learned to speak truth without cruelty. He learned to refuse gossip, even when gossip felt like entertainment. He learned to praise sincerely instead of competing for attention. Within months, his world changed, not because he became a saint, but because he stopped leaking. This is what I want you to hear. Blessings are not only about good deeds. Blessings are also about reducing harm. A big part of spiritual practice is simply not creating unnecessary damage. Now let us bring compassion into this. Because some people hear this topic and they become anxious. They start thinking, "I have leaked so much already. I have said terrible things. I have complained for years. I have broken promises. Am I doomed?" No. And here is why. Karma is not a prison. Karma is a direction. When you change direction, the future changes. You may still experience old consequences for a while, because seeds take time to ripen, but new seeds also begin to grow. The most compassionate thing you can do is to start now, without self-hatred. Self-hatred is also a leak. It spends energy with no benefit. It creates paralysis. It makes you harsh with others. It leads you back to old habits. So practice with firmness and gentleness, honest but not cruel, clear but not punishing. And this is where wisdom enters. Wisdom means turning teachings into habits, not just understanding, not just listening, not just nodding. Listening does not change destiny if it does not change behavior. And Rand understood something crucial. Knowing is not doing. Hearing is not embodying. Practice is when the teaching shows up in the moment of temptation, when you want to say the sharp thing, and you do not, when you want to take the cheap advantage, and you refuse, when you want to break the promise, and you keep it, when you want to explode, and you breathe, when you want to complain, and you choose gratitude. That is practice. That is destiny editing. Now let us go even deeper, because blessings are also linked to the state of your mind, not only ethics, but inner energy. A mind full of resentment cannot rest. A mind full of restlessness cannot focus. A mind without focus makes sloppy decisions. Sloppy decisions create messy consequences. Then you call it bad luck. A mind full of gratitude rests easier. A rested mind focuses. A focused mind makes clean decisions. Clean decisions create clean consequences. Then you call it good luck. This is why spiritual practice is not separate from success. It is the foundation of sustainable success. Now I want to bring in a powerful image that can help you remember this teaching without forcing yourself. Imagine you are carrying water in a bucket. Blessings are water. Life effort is also water. But your bucket has holes. Every day you pour effort in, and every day it leaks out. You are exhausted. You think you need more water. But the real issue is the holes. So do not only chase more effort, repair the holes. Now I want to guide you through a long reflection that many people need, because the modern world trains the exact habits that leak blessings. The modern world trains speed over sincerity. It trains attention seeking over integrity. It trains outrage over understanding. It trains consumption over gratitude. It trains comparison over contentment. It trains shortcuts over clean hands. So, if you are leaking, it does not mean you are uniquely flawed. It means you are human living inside a system that constantly encourages leaks. This is why practice matters. Practice is not escaping the world. Practice is not becoming weird. Practice is building an inner life that does not get dragged by every trend, every emotion, every temptation, every narrative. Now let me return to Anran. Because the story does not end with her becoming perfect. The story ends with her becoming awake. As Anran practiced, her life did not become a fairy tale overnight. She still had problems. She still had stressful days. She still had moments when the old habits showed up. But the tone of her life changed. She felt more stable when she slept. She felt more focused when she worked. She felt less panicked when surprises happened. She felt less lonely because her relationships became warmer. She felt less cursed because she could see cause and effect. And this is important. Seeing cause and effect removes helplessness. You stop feeling like destiny is a random enemy. You start feeling like destiny is a field you can cultivate. Now, I want to share something that often creates the biggest shift for viewers. Many people believe blessings are something you either have or do not have. Like a lottery, like a genetic trait, like a cosmic preference. But the deeper truth is that blessings are often the echo of what you repeatedly do. Your repeated mind state becomes your repeated behavior. Your repeated behavior becomes your repeated consequences. Your repeated consequences become your life. So destiny is not only what happens to you. Destiny is also what you repeatedly create. When you repeatedly complain, life feels heavy. When you repeatedly gossip, life feels unstable. When you repeatedly break promises, life feels unreliable. When you repeatedly explode, life feels unsafe. When you repeatedly take shortcuts, life feels anxious. But when you repeatedly practice kindness, life becomes warmer. When you repeatedly practice honesty, life becomes cleaner. When you repeatedly practice patience, life becomes steadier. When you repeatedly practice generosity, life becomes supported. When you repeatedly practice gratitude, life becomes lighter. Now let us go into the heart of compassion, because we have to talk about one more leak that many spiritual people ignore. Pride in practice. Some people start practicing ethics, and then they become superior. They become judgmental. They become rigid. They look down on others. They preach. That pride becomes another leak because it damages relationships. It creates subtle aggression. It makes the heart hard. True practice is humble, not weak. Humble. Humble means you know you are a learner. You know you still have blind spots. You know you still make mistakes. You know you are still polishing the mind. And humility protects blessings, because humility makes you teachable. Teachable people improve. Teachable people repair. Teachable people soften. Soft hearts attract good conditions. Now, I want to speak to the part of you that is tired, because sometimes you listen to teachings like this and you think, I have to change everything. That feels overwhelming. You do not have to change everything at once. You just have to stop the biggest leak first. Pick one. Maybe it is speech. Maybe it is small, dishonest advantage. Maybe it is broken promises. Maybe it is anger. Maybe it is complaint and comparison. Pick one. Practice it for a week, like your destiny depends on it, because it does. And do not practice with tension. Practice with awareness. If the leak is speech, practice pauses. 1 second pause before you speak can save years of consequences. If the leak is advantage taking, practice clean hands. Ask yourself if you would feel comfortable if your action was seen clearly by someone you respect. If the leak is promises, practice fewer promises and better follow through. Make fewer commitments, but honor them. If the leak is anger, practice schooling before speaking. Practice walking away for 5 minutes. Practice breathing out slowly. If the leak is complaint, practice specific gratitude, not abstract. Specific, one real thing at a time. Now let me give you a longer story to make this vivid, because some of you need to see how a single leak can ruin an entire life. There was a young man I will call Sam. He came from an ordinary family. He was intelligent. He was given opportunities. He had enough blessings to build a stable life. But he had a habit of constant complaint. He complained about his parents, not because they were abusive, but because they were imperfect. He complained about his job, not because it was unbearable, but because it was not glamorous. He complained about his friends, not because they betrayed him, but because they were not always available. He complained about society. He complained about the weather. He complained about himself. At first, people listened. They felt sympathy, but after a while, they began to avoid him, not because they hated him, because complaint is draining. It is like carrying a wet, heavy blanket around and asking everyone to hold it with you. Sam began to feel more alone. Then he complained about being alone. He began to feel more stuck. Then he complained about being stuck. His mind became a closed loop. One day, someone older asked him a question that changed him. The older person asked, "Do you want to be right about how unfair life is? Or do you want to be free?" Sam was offended, but later, in the quiet of his room, he realized his complaint was not helping. It was only rehearsing helplessness. So he began a small practice. Every time he wanted to complain, he would first name one thing he could do, not what the world should do, what he could do. If he complained about money, he would name one action he could take that week. If he complained about loneliness, he would name one person he could reach out to kindly. If he complained about health, he would name one habit he could improve. If he complained about stress, he would name one boundary he could set. This shifted his mind from victim to practitioner, and his life changed. Again, not overnight, but steadily. That is how blessings return. When you stop spending energy on loops and start using energy on wise action. Now we are arriving at the part where I want to summarize the entire teaching in a way that hits the heart, because long videos need an ending that lands. The story is not saying you should become perfect. The story is saying you should become awake. Blessings are not only what you receive. Blessings are also what you preserve. Destiny is not only what happens. Destiny is also what you repeatedly choose. Practice is not an identity. Practice is the moment you do not add harm. If you are feeling stuck, do not only ask what you are lacking. Ask what you are leaking. Are you leaking through speech that creates conflict? Are you leaking through habits that create guilt? Are you leaking through broken trust? Are you leaking through anger that burns your own house down? Are you leaking through complaint that blinds you to your own power? And then choose one repair, because the moment you repair one leak, you will feel something even before your external life changes. You will feel a new kind of stability growing inside you. You will sleep a little better. You will feel less scattered. You will feel less haunted by regret. You will feel more respect for yourself. And that inner stability is the first sign that destiny is already shifting. Now let me share a personal style reflection, not as a performance, but as a human connection, because many of you need to know you are not alone in this. I have seen people ruin opportunities not because they were not talented, but because they could not control their mouth. I have seen relationships collapse not because love was absent, but because anger was fed daily. I have seen people remain poor not because they never worked, but because they constantly chased shortcuts and could not build trust. I have seen people remain anxious not because life was uniquely dangerous, but because their minds were trained to complain and compare. And I have also seen the opposite. I have seen someone change their entire path by keeping one promise consistently. I have seen someone heal their relationships by practicing silence for 10 seconds before responding. I have seen someone attract better work by becoming reliable and kind. I have seen someone become emotionally strong by learning to cool down before speaking. These changes are not dramatic on day one. They are dramatic after months because the field becomes different. And here is the most compassionate truth I can give you. You do not need to fix your whole life to begin. You only need to stop one leak. If you do that, you are already practicing wisdom. You are already practicing cause and effect. You are already practicing compassion. Because you are reducing harm. You are already practicing awakening. Because you are seeing clearly. And yes, you are already practicing destiny transformation, because your future is built out of your repeated present. Now, it is your turn. In the comments, share the most honest answer you can. What is the biggest way you leak blessings right now? And what is one small repair you are willing to practice this week? If this video helped you, support the channel by subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment. And if you want to go deeper with long-form teachings on mindfulness, ethics, wisdom, compassion, and the practical path of changing karma in daily life, consider becoming a member so we can keep building this space together. Until next time, protect your blessings by repairing your leaks. And remember, the smallest choice repeated daily becomes the biggest destiny. Life gets noisy. Work, stress, expectations. Sometimes we lose touch with the quiet part of ourselves. Bracelet isn't just an accessory. It's a small reminder that you deserve peace. You deserve moments of stillness. You deserve to hold on to your inner balance. If one of these bracelets speaks to your heart, you'll find the purchase link in the description below. And even more auctions available on our channel's shop page. Pick home the one that feels right.